keyword. Okay, so we have our formatted keyword, and what we want to do is create a formula that's going to pull the content of this cell into the cell surrounded by parentheses. So the way we do that is as follows: equals, open parentheses, and then two open quotations rather. So it's open quotations, and then two single parentheses, and then a close quotations, ampersand, and then the cell, the actual cell. So in our case, we're just going to click on it, but it is C3. And then ampersand again, open quotations, double parentheses. So you do it, this is 2 clicks, one parentheses, and then close my quotations, and then hit enter. And we have our pulled keyword from column C formatted with parentheses. So it's really cool. And what we could do is just to duplicate that formula all the way down is just hover over the bottom right-hand corner until we get the black plus sign and double click. And that's going to bring it's going to duplicate my entire list of keywords straight down the line with parentheses. Now, once I have this set up with, I did this with phrase match, I want to go ahead and duplicate the same thing with exact match. So I'm going to go back to my filter over here and only select exact match. And I'll select exact and deselect phrase. And now I already have my empty column, and all I need to do is write a similar formula, but just a little bit different to reflect brackets. So it's equals, parentheses, and now we don't, quotations rather, and we don't need to be worrying about the single parentheses because the single parentheses was to give us the appearance of the quotations. So for the brackets, all it is open quotations, open bracket, open quotations, ampersand, our column, our cell, which is C4 in this case, because keep in mind we have the filter on, ampersand, close quotations, close brackets, close quotations, we hit enter, and we have our keyword surrounded by brackets in the appropriate exact match format. And another way, instead of double clicking on the bottom right hand corner of the cells, we could grab it and drag down until we hit the bottom of our keyword list, let go, and all of our formatting will be intact. So it's really, really cool. And if we expand column B, just to get a clear sense, we see all of our keywords are now paired really nicely. And we could then go back to removing our filter. And in this column, we have our new phrase match and our phrase match and formatted exact match keywords. One thing we do need to do, though, is remove the formula. So when we want to go ahead and copy this into Microsoft, when we want to copy this into Google AdWords, we don't want to be copying formulas. So all we need to do is select this column, Command-C, to copy, and then paste. And then we hit this little icon, and we hit values only. If you select values only, then we actually get the value, the text with the brackets and parentheses, and we don't need to bring in, we won't be bringing in the actual formulas. Now, there's a lot of ways to clean this up even further, just with the Excel formatting, but this is not an Excel course, so we don't need to work on that right now. We have the information on this sheet that will allow us to start building our ad groups. And that's what we really want to start doing now. We've created themes, we've created all the variations for each one, and we've also done a good job at creating our thematically related groups of keywords. So we have our ad group separated. We're targeting very, very thoughtfully specific, modern, rolling, colorful, all these specific attributes, themes, basic product identifiers, however you feel you want to perceive or relate to them. And we're looking like we're in really good shape to start rebuilding our ad groups in more thoughtful and more detailed ways that will allow us to be much more relevant. Once we start building in these ad groups, we're going to have to start thinking about bids. And we're going to need to start understanding how bidding works in the AdWords auction, how to start determining what we want to be paying for bids. And that's going to be an exciting next section as we start actually turning this data into real live ad groups in our actual campaign. And that's what we're going to be doing for the next section. So what we've covered here is real a good sense of keyword organization. So we started off at the very beginning with keyword research. We got a basic sense of the volume and the keywords that are out there. We then took that keyword research and we understood the idea of keyword planning, understanding the buying funnel, understanding the psyche that a specific query represents, Are they ready to buy? Are they awareness? Are they in the shopping phase? Are they in the interest phase? And how important that understanding and knowledge of each of those keywords are. We then put that aside and jumped into keyword planning, that by taking the broader list of keywords that we had generated and turning them into really tight, thematically related lists, thematically related groups that we're going to be using to build our ad groups. Once we actually go ahead and build those ad groups, upload these keywords, get them into the campaign, then we want to start asking ourselves the questions: what type of buyer do these keywords represent? Because the buyer funnel knowledge is going to help us understand bids, and bidding appropriately on the proper match types and adding in negative keywords later, that's going to be what's going to help us with control. So I hope that all of these pieces are starting to fit together. It's not a very linear step-by-step sort of process. They're all intermingled and interlaced with each other. So that's why it might be confusing. But I think the way we laid it out here was as clear and as sensible of an approach as possible. And we're not done with it yet. There's still a lot more to talk about, a lot more pieces of the jigsaw puzzle to put together. And once we start talking about bids and how to bid differently on each match type and how to go ahead and structure the campaigns, the ad groups, and how to develop additional ad groups based on buyer funnels, then I think the whole thing is going to come together. So excellent job on this so far. We're going to be back in Excel later, and the next video we're going to pick up in the AdWords dashboard, actually creating new ad groups. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and we will talk to you soon.